Hello world. Today is Wednesday, September 24, 2025. It's like 2 a.m., so technically it is Thursday. And this is another vlog, a 10-minute raw, unedited talk about what is top of mind. It's a kind of a public journal, a kind of a think of it as a kind of a captain's log on a ship. It's amazing to look back at these records years from now and being like, that's who I was. That's where my mind was, and also I just have this belief that like reality unfiltered is endlessly fascinating, and if you can only just like be present and just like exist, you can be amazed endlessly, like right now is happening. And a conscious being is itself like a magical thing, a wonder of the universe. So today's portrait, someone commented yesterday that they loved the portrait, the self-portrait. I think today's not as good as yesterday. It took me like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm actually very sleepy. And I wrote a quote because I like to pair the portrait with a quote or some bit of writing or overheard text or overheard things, conversations. And this one says, "I don't write beautifully, I write reports about our condition," by Philip K. Dick. And I was just really reminded about how amazing Philip K. Dick was, and in like science fiction writers like Stanislav Lem, like essentially like science fiction writers. They're the best. The best thing you can be doing, I think, in our world is be a science fiction writer. It's the most exciting thing because your imagination is free to like infer what direction the world is taking, and then just like create these worlds and imagine. And actually, they are spot on. A lot of these great science fiction authors are spot on, like Stanislav Lem, and they're like transhumanists, and like the predictions of the future are so fascinating. Like we'll be creating universes and traveling across planets. So what's a couple of topics I want to talk about? Like another one is like personal growth. I spent about maybe like a 30 minutes to an hour going through my reels, and I just like last year I just started creating like little reels of every day, like a little short film, a short documentary that's usually like under like 30 seconds to 60 seconds of a little documentary of my day. And it may be it's sometimes it's like repetitive. It's just like me doing time lapse of my workout or some couple clips of my Muay Thai training, or me at my laptop typing or walking down the street. But like the change that I went through over the past year has been huge. And at the same time, I just see that I still have a lot of room for growth, and particularly in kind of like self-knowledge, like knowing yourself. And so being a digital nomad for me, I just feel like there's no way I could be like living in one place. I would just die of boredom. Not boredom, like of lack of growth. Like living in Chicago, I was fixated with like working, learning to code and like and grinding and like building my career. And I I was engaged, and I was really engaged, and I was really and I was really growing a lot, and I was just like satisfied with that and being in one place. I was like, all the other conditions of like my place, I had an apartment, a car, everything was like set. Like I didn't have to worry about like my location was set. But I could just focus on like being a best coder I could be. But at the same time, I feel like my progress, looking back, it could have been a lot better. And now, like, I'm like not really prioritizing like just being a best coder, but I'm just prioritizing like all around growth, like in of personal growth, personal development. And yes, travel is what will do it. And but then like recording a reel, and like my intention with these reels is not to grow a following. I probably my follower count probably increased by like less than 100 over a year, and the views are just flat, like around 200 views per reel. And that's fine, because I don't pay attention to that, because I really just do it for myself. Okay. But what I am interested in is what I'm interested in is finding out what is like my purpose. And I know it's like you escape competition through authenticity. And like follow your bliss, kind of like find out what really makes you light up. So for me, I look back, it's like I get lit up by creativity. I love creativity. Creating with technology, creating with code, creating apps that I use myself. I love that. And the thing is, like, you have to build up things, stack your wins, and start small, and don't try to don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't bite off more than you can handle. That's when you get burnt. And the thing is, like, the real secret that I really kind of discovered is that never complain, and be grateful for every little thing, and just be positive. And like we because we really do like create our reality. So like the worst thing possibly you can do is like complain, because you just are saying you're powerless and you're a victim. And then that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the real insight is that be creative, and build on top of your wins, your that creative, the joy out of creating something. Could be a self-portrait, or it could be an app, a small app, and it could be a bigger app. So, and my models for like are like Steve Jobs, John Carmack, and they're both like, they both did like, Steve Jobs really built on top of the small like projects, like with Woz and like working at Atari. And you can read some documentaries and watch some biographical films, or read biographical films about him, and you can see how he like gradually built up on top of this, and like he traveled to India, and that just changed him, and did LSD and saw the deeper reality. And John Carmack, which is like, he just grew up on the Apple II and building little games every month, a new game, and that's how he earned money, and like for his car. So he just like had this feedback loop of, I'm building something, learning, and he honed his coding skills. And then in the 90s he created Doom and Quake and id Software, and then Quest, the Vision Pro, not the Vision, the Oculus, And those are the kind of that I like that I'm like, I want my life to be like that. That's like how you realize, you slowly build up your confidence. I'm creating reality, and then like it really, then you create this positive feedback loop of creating this vast positive kind of output, and this kind of like life's work. That's really what I'm excited about. And over the past year, I'm really working on this, how to find this exactly. So I feel I've made progress. So that's 10 minutes. As always, ending this with sending peace and love, vibrations, and thoughts to you, the listener. May you be free from pain and suffering. And thank you for watching.